Today's video is going to be all about comparing a budget set of mid-length tubular headers versus your stock cast iron 302 Ford headers. What we're going to look at is we're going to compare the model from Patriot that I picked up from Summit Racing versus the stock, and we're going to look at a couple different categories. We're going to look at price, we're going to look at weight, and then we're going to really dive into a little bit of a math here and just kind of see, okay, how much extra area both coming in and going out are you gaining by going to a set of tubular headers versus your stock cast iron manifolds. The vehicle this will be going on is my 1964 Mercury Comet. I'm in the process of trying to do a budget. I say budget because things get out of hand in a hurry, but this is supposed to be a budget kind of top end kit. So cam, intake, heads, and basically I just couldn't bring myself to install these stock headers or manifolds. I shouldn't even call them headers. They're not headers, they're stock cast manifolds. So I picked these up from Summit Racing and they come boxed extremely well. I'll show you what they look like here in a second, but let's just dive into the numbers and then I'll show you how they come packaged, what they come with, and we'll talk about them a little bit more. All right, so how much these puppies cost? Well, these are a Patriot model number H8434, and the cost of these is $377 at the time of making this video from Summit Racing. I think that is an extremely inexpensive way to get these headers. You can get them in different finishes. This is a high temp black coating. You can get them in chrome. I think you can get them in ceramic coated, but the price just goes up from there. You may even be able to get them bare for less money, but I opted for the painted. So that's $377 compared to your stock manifolds, which if you're doing this, we're just gonna go ahead and say they're free. Now, if you've got to go out and buy manifolds, you know, you might be looking at going to Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, KSL, something like that, eBay, who knows, maybe 50 bucks. But for right now, we're just gonna give the nod to the stock because they don't cost anything. But I think that that's the only spot where you're actually going to win out on these. Let's go ahead and weigh the cast iron manifolds and see how much they weigh. Okay, got the bathroom scale here. We'll go ahead and zero it out and drop these on. 24.2 pounds for the cast iron. On here, set these on, 12.8. All right, so you've got 12.8 pounds for the Patriots and 24.2 for the Stockers. I've weighed those twice. I mean, it's pretty close. That's almost half as much. And if you just went ahead and installed, removed your iron heads and put on a set of aluminum heads, right off the bat, you probably saved 50 pounds. So at that point, you've already saved 50, right? Go ahead. That's not nothing right there, if I'm being honest. Okay, the next part is gonna involve a little bit of math. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do using, well, we'll go ahead and use this first, but ultimately I'm probably gonna use a set of calipers for this. We're gonna go and measure the area of the inlet, basically. So, consider this a rectangle. We're not gonna go crazy here. We're gonna get the length and width, multiply it by 4 for the Patriots, and then we're gonna get the length and width of the Stockers, multiply that by 4, and that will give us the area in for both sets of headers. Then we'll go and we'll look at the exit. These are both circular. We'll get the diameter and then figure out the area from there, and then basically be able to tell what's the area in versus what's the area out. It should paint a really good picture. Okay, so here's what's really remarkable. So basically when you measure the area, and what I'm doing here again is, when you look into these ports, there's a big bump right here that reduces the area. So I'm not going from the fattest part, I'm actually dropping in a set of calipers and I'm grabbing that spot that's restricting flow. In the same way, you can see that there's like kind of weld buildup a little bit on the inside here. I'm grabbing my measurement from there. So it's kind of more of a true flow. And what I found out was the area in on the stock was just under 4.5 inches squared. On the Patriots, it's 6.3 inches. Now, what does that mean as a percentage? Well, if you divide 6.32 divided by 4.42, you're 40% more area. Basically, there's 40% more area to flow air through on the Patriots than on these headers. Now, the big surprise, though, comes with the area out. So these are small headers. This is a 2.5 inch collector, which means the ID of the collector is a little bit under 2.5 inches. In this case, it's 2.374. If you look inside these though, it is severely shrouded, I guess we could say. The difference, 1.6 inch diameter on the stock, 2.374. We know that area is pi times your diameter squared divided by 4. So you're looking at roughly 2 inches squared and almost 4.5 inches squared for the Patriots, which means in terms of restriction coming out of these, you're flowing 200, well, I shouldn't say flowing, but the area is 220% larger. So if you've got an engine that wants more airflow, one that's hopped up, and you don't mind spending, I don't know, 375 bucks, to me, this is kind of a no-brainer. The last thing is gonna be how well do they fit. The big thing with these Comets is there's like next to no room. See right here? I can't even really get my whole fist in here, and that's the side with more room. It's even more jammed in here. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why did I go with these like shorty / mid-length headers? The reason is long tubes are extremely difficult to fit in Falcons and Comets unless you totally cut out basically your inner fender wells and totally redo the front suspension, which I have not done. So we're gonna try and drop one of these in tonight, see how well it fits. I am told that this is the easier side of the two, so we're gonna probably try with this side first. I may have to cut back that exhaust. Ultimately, this will get full dual exhaust, but for right now, we're just gonna try and see if we can get this thing together and running, which means step one is to try and get my passenger side header in. Okay, so I know you didn't see me. I wrestled with the passenger side a little bit, and I say a little bit because basically on a Comet and probably a Falcon, I would recommend you remove the starter, it's 2 bolts, and then the idler arm that controls the center link, I dropped that down. And then after some wiggling from the bottom, I got this header in. And I can tell you it's close, but it fits. And I could get to all the bolts, the gaskets went in. Honestly, I thought this side was gonna be the one that fought me. Without undoing anything from the bottom, I was able to get this up in a place like you see it after playing with it for maybe about 5-10 minutes tops. If you've never installed headers before, and especially if you're worried about installing them on a Comet, I can tell you these things fit really well. I've installed headers in trucks, I've installed them in Corvettes, I've installed them in, I mean like Mustangs. These are some easy headers to install. I know they're not done yet, but trust me, the fact that I got them that far is a really good sign. All right, now that you've got everything installed, it's a good idea to see where your exhaust lines up. We'll start with the good first. So this is the passenger side. I mean, for a mid-length header, this is pretty ideal. It's coming down straight at us. We don't have any conflicts. We can get to all the bolts. This is great. Typically your exhaust is gonna be right here. I've got my old exhaust. This is not a great example, so it will be changed. This is just for startup, but basically, I'm pretty sure I can install like a 45 right here. On the other side, for example, not so great. This is pointing more in towards the vehicle. We're gonna have to do some funky business to get out here so we don't run into any issues. So this will require some more custom work to get down here. So for whatever reason, I decided to time-lapse the easier side. You can kind of apply the same principle to the other side, and I'll show you some of the bends and how I did that. Basically on this one, all you really need is a 45-degree bend. I did weld in a bung for the O2 sensor, and then for right now, I'm just welding it up so that I can attach it to my stock exhaust. Eventually, I will be adding like an X-pipe and everything to this and changing the mufflers, but this is just to get me started. On the other side, it helps if you have like a 180-degree bend that you can cut from, and then you can go ahead and kind of tack together what you need. It's actually not that bad. I did it in one shot, everything fit. I wouldn't let this deter you. Okay, so at this point, you know how much they cost, you know how much they weigh, you know how they fit, and you know the size, but how do they sound? So I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm gonna show you a sound comparison. The comparison is gonna be with the exact same mufflers. Really the only difference here is the fact that I've got cam and different cylinder heads. But as far as the exhaust is concerned, this is a straight comparison of those Patriot mid-length headers versus the stockers. It's still untuned. I'm in the process of trying to get it running right, so it's not absolutely perfect right now, but we're making steps every day to get it sounding better. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, that just about wraps up this video. Hopefully you have a good idea of what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to spend any money and the stock exhaust sounds great and it's perfect for you. Or maybe you've got a couple $100 to spend and you like the idea of potentially a little bit better performance. Eventually we will get this thing on the dyno once it's running right, and we can compare kind of like the performance gains with everything that we've done. We're not quite there yet, but we will be eventually. I want to make sure I get the exhaust fully set up for that, so don't worry, you will see a video on that in the very near future. But for right now, thanks for watching, and go back and watch some previous videos so we can see how we got to this point. When I bought this car, it was basically bone stock with an AOD transmission. We swapped a manual in, we completely rewired it. We did all kinds of different stuff to get it to where it is right now. So go back and watch those videos, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see when more content comes out on my channel, Truck and Roll. See you guys next time.